Okay, so I have a thesis here with these semiconductors. And this is looking like, okay, it could break out here. It is setting up. And this morning we also have SMCI. So they had a good, I don't think they reported earnings, but they came out and said things are looking good, basically. And that, so it came down here and then broke up. So the semiconductors have been in play. And I've been patiently watching them. And I have played them a little bit. I scalped SOXL yesterday a little bit. NVIDIA, I haven't done much with it other than I caught this initial move and I tried to do some trading in here. And so far it's been kind of break even. So what I'm looking at, I have this marked up quite a bit. It just makes a nice move up, kind of stalls out, maybe tries to curl up, then shakes everyone out. So everyone that put their stop loss here, it shook them out. Then it comes down to test another level or area. This is where it was basing before, fills the gap, gets picked up, and then you have the same thing here. So then it gaps up. Doesn't really give you an opportunity intraday. You would have had to hold this overnight. Then what does it do? Okay, it comes down, you think testing support, came down pretty fast. It breaks that, and it comes right into this area here that was prior support where everyone might have had their stop loss before. So again, shakes people out, and then buyers step in. So now could it come down here or to this level? I don't know. We'll see. But it's been stair-stepping higher, but in a way where it's shaking people. It hasn't been a very clean stair-step higher. And you can get that with some of these bigger tech moves. That if you just look at the weekly chart here, you know, you had a nice long weekly base, nice squeeze, right? And that could head much higher. You had a nice volume breakout, you know, and maybe you get something like this. Reminds me a little bit of AMR, where AMR had an even longer squeeze, or basically sideways base, this really tight wedge formation, and that broke out. Here you see it had a nice squeeze, and it broke out and came right back to this anchor VWAP, and you had buyer step in here, pretty strong, and then it went higher. So maybe could we have something like that with NVIDIA? It's very possible. SMCI, setting up with this, so the weekly looks good. Everything looks good on a weekly basis. The longer time frames, these shorter time frames can get a little choppy. But anyway, that's what I'm looking at. Now, what I wanted to get to in this video is, you know, could we have something? This reminds me a little bit of Mara and or the Bitcoiners, right? Where you had to move up, it comes back, and it comes into this little pocket area where it's not quite at the highs, right? So you had to run up, right, and you retrace. That's probably like a 0.7, 0.78 level here. And then totally fakes everyone out and craps down and takes out. Now here you had big volume, right? So here you had pretty big volume yesterday, right? So everybody's in, right? So if this were to reverse today, that's the way I'm looking at this. If, that's the key thing. So if it reverses and takes out maybe this level here, I would probably want it to come down to here. Maybe you could start a short position here. This is where it would really, to me, be more of a failure, kind of just like Mara. So if you look at it on an hourly chart where Mara came up here, got everyone in, and then came right down with volume, huge volume. So that's what I would want to see if it's going to go downside. An SMCI would be a good one to look at today to see how this one plays out. So especially the news. Now right now it's pre-market at 7:30. It's a little bit early. But if this one were to take out, like come back into this kind of basically fail the breakout that it had, especially like this anchored VWAP here with volume. If you're coming down here with volume, then I think maybe these semiconductors might need I'm not saying they're going to get something like what the Mara and Coin and all of them had, but that's something that I'm kind of playing out scenarios in my head where if we start to see this action where everything starts to fade with volume, then I'm going to take the short. Now, if we get a breakout to the upside with volume, which is also very possible, then you can take it long. So, yeah, Mara, that actually almost stopped me out yesterday. I had my stop up here, but it did not get touched off. Could probably lower it, although I'm going to give it a little bit of room. And you could almost take it as another short. I mean, you could have taken it as another short here. But I'm thinking, like, if we get down to this green level, maybe we'll see a bounce this green anchor VWAP from the low. So that's where I have my, as of now, that's where I'm looking to take profit. And then yesterday I kind of fumbled this Tesla. I was taking short at 211.99 is where I had a short. And somehow I thought I entered a sell stop order, and somehow it triggered me on a buy stop. So anyway, I don't know what happened there, but I immediately closed out the position, and that was that. So I don't know. I mean, that's what do you think? Do you think that am I wrong on this thesis with the semis? The other one I'm looking at taking a short is Zim. So it's in this little box here. And I'm thinking that if it breaks down, maybe we can see lower prices.